Hey, Shalom. And first and foremost, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Hakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the Akim and to the elect that are scattered across the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth with faith and sincerity. On the brother Shema Allah from the GMS Houston Camp. And this lesson is going to be entitled Section 230 and how this could change the whole internet, and how we bring the word out on YouTube and, or whatever platform we use. Like, they got the BitChute and, you know, what's the other one? It's slipping my mind right now. Odyssey, right? All of these things. All right. So, in a nutshell, basically, this is going to be like a big holding, any type of social media or internet platform, right? Accountable, right, for the things that gets posted, right, on their sites, right, or in their apps. Section 230, which I'm gonna read everything, basically protects them, right? But Section 230 is basically like a bill that was passed, but it basically protects, right, any social media or any type of internet site that people can get on there and post things, right, such as Facebook, Twitter, right, or Instagram, right, YouTube, all of these things. People can get on there and post what they want to post, and the the companies will basically be protected against any type of person that gets on there and posts any type of hate speech or like posts anything that's, may seem like terrorism or, things of that nature. Right. Also, it protects them if they deem anything that you post, right, to be, unfit, right, to be, on their platforms, or they may, or like they're using their own judgment to say, hey, this is hate speech, or this goes against this goes against that. Right. You can't sue them. All right, but it's been talks of basically doing away with this bill or amending it or changing it. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this, but I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna read a little bit. I'm gonna drop the link in the bio, right? And get a few scriptures, and then I'm gonna be out of here, right? But it says two Supreme Court cases this week could upend the entire internet. It said the Supreme Court is set to hear back-to-back oral arguments this week in two cases that could significantly reshape online speech and content moderation. The outcome of the oral arguments scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday could determine whether tech platforms and social media companies can be sued for recommending content to their users or for supporting acts of international terrorism by hosting terrorist content, right? Just by having the content on there, right? And you know us preaching this truth, they gonna look at us like we terrorists because we preaching against this kingdom. All right, so they're saying, hey, since y'all having all this stuff on here, shit, y'all might as well be a part of it. We gonna charge y'all or hold y'all accountable for it, you know, for what they are saying, right? Because it's your platform, right? It marks the court's first ever review of a hot button federal law that largely protects websites from lawsuits over user-generated content, right? Like I said, user-generated content, basically something that me and you or something go on another site and create a profile or page and just start posting things. Like Reddit and stuff like that. Reddit, Facebook, all these different things. It says the closely watched cases known as Gonzalez v. Google versus Google and Twitter versus Taamna carry significant stakes for the wider internet. An expansion of apps and websites' legal risks for hosting and promoting content could lead to major changes at sites, including Facebook, Wikipedia, YouTube, to name a few. All right, so this could affect everything. It says the litigation has produced some of the most intense rhetoric and years from the tech sector about the potential impact on the internet's future. U.S. lawmakers, civil society groups, and more than 24 states have also jumped into the debate with filing at the court. So this is something that's getting talked about, right? And it says, hey, Monday, February 20th, 2023. All right. And the apostles are deemed this year as the hopeful year that all prophecies come to pass. And we know that the famine of the word, right, is going to come eventually. Right. And this could very well be the year. It says at the heart of the legal battle is Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. This is the bill. Right. It's a part of this bill right here, which we'll go to another website to kind of explain it more. It says a nearly 30-year-old federal law, right? What's a law that courts have repeatedly said provide broad protections to tech platforms, but that has since come under scrutiny alongside growing criticism of big tech's content moderation decisions. The law has critics on both sides of the aisle. Many Republican officials allege that Section 230 gives social media platforms a license to censor conservative viewpoints. Prominent Democrats, including President Joe Biden, have argued Section 230 prevents tech giants from being held accountable for spreading misinformation and hate speech. In recent years, some in Congress have pushed for changes to Section 230 that might expose tech platforms to more liability, along with proposals to amend U.S. antitrust rules and other bills aimed at reining in dominant tech platforms. But those efforts have largely stalled, leaving the Supreme Court as the likeliest source of change in the coming months to how the United States regulates digital services. Rulings in the cases are expected by the end of June. All right. So now when you go, you can come and kind of read through all of this. All right. And you will have Gonzalez versus Google, which this is a dude that got basically died in an ISIS attack, and they were posting videos on YouTube and this and that. Right. They're saying basically Google didn't do nothing, to stop it. So they trying to hold them accountable. And what's here is another ISIS attack. I believe they both was two ISIS attacks, right? And basically like the same thing. They saying Twitter was his own Twitter website, right? And dude got killed or whatever because they had the ISIS thing on there. They was promoting it, this and that. All right, so it's like, no, like y'all gonna be held accountable. This is what they're trying to do. So just think about us teaching this truth. And we got a lot of people rising up saying that they're Israelites, right? We teaching against this kingdom, saying that this kingdom is gonna fall. But you also are gonna have the undesirables, the 2/3, right? That they're gonna take arms and do what they gotta do to this and that. Hey, and it's gonna spread, a the notion that we're just violent, right? We're just the violent Israelites. And we will be looked at as terrorists, the same as these other groups. And but it's all prophesied to happen. All right. But it's gonna come to a point in time to where they ain't gonna let us post nothing on there. Right? They ain't gonna let us post nothing. But you can go to this where it says, what is Section 230? Enacted in 1996, Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act helps protect online companies from liability arising from what is posted on their platforms. They're not liable for what me or you can post, right? That may be harmful to others. Many experts point to Section 230 as a foundation component to how the internet works today. Section 230 provides immunity to internet companies in two ways. And I'm just going to read these two, and that's really going to be it. If you want to go down and read the rest, hey, you can do that. But it says a provider or user of interactive computer service can be treated as the publisher or speaker of information provided by a third party. The law has a broad definition of interactive computer service. It includes almost any online platform that publishes third-party content. Right? Verse 2. Providers and users of interactive computer service can be liable for voluntarily taking down content if the provider believes in good faith that the information is obscene or otherwise objectionable. So this basically protects them a whole lot, right? And you see that they trying to basically do away with this. Like, nah. All right. So if they do away with this, that means they got to be more strict on what they can post because on what people can post and get on their sites and post. Because if not, then people can sue them and they got to go to court for these things. Right. But this Section 230 protects them from being sued. Right. And this can make things I get 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 basically crazy, on the internet, right? And something could turn out from this, and something could not. But the point is that these things are in talks. The heathen mainly, so they want to disrupt this truth, right? Because they don't care about all this other stuff. Because who are the biggest murderers, terrorists than them? Thieves, right? Than them. Nobody tops them, right? Because they really is about justice, they all would do something to themselves, right? They would bring justice and judgment upon themselves, which they're not gonna do. Right? They ain't really about that. They just trying to find ways to get around onto us. Right? This is Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing of the words of Yahweh. So a famine is usually a lack of food, right? But this word is spiritual food as well, right? Because this word is compared unto bread, right? And this word is compared unto water, right? When Yahweh Shai went into that he is the word, he's the bread that came down from heaven. This word is bread. Then he said that basically he that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, going into these scriptures, right? Flowing with his wisdom, right? So he says it's going to be a famine of these things. Where famine means a lack of. All right. Now, ra'ai, which means hunger. Strong's 87458, hunger. All right. Famine in land, hunger of individuals, thirst, famish, hunger. So when you're hungry, right, it means you don't have any food, but like a famine, right? When there's a famine, that means it ain't nothing. It's hard to get your hands on anything because it ain't there. Right? It's a lack. That's why, you had Jacob and them, they had to go up into Egypt to get that food because hey, it was nothing. But hey, it's gonna be the same thing with this word, but this word, you won't be able to go nowhere on the internet and the highways and the byways that we teach. You ain't gonna see us there. It ain't gonna be nothing. It's gonna be a lack of this spiritual food. Right? Because right now the Lord is giving out. Right? The Lord is giving out these, these it's the spiritual meals. Right? It's like you have people they be setting up little spots to where people give out. They be having food drives. People will have, so-called Thanksgiving. They pass out turkeys and this and that. Well, the Lord is doing this with the word. Hey, it's free. You see, you don't gotta pay anything. We're giving it out. But hey, it's gonna be a time you can't find nothing. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh and shall not find it. So you see, you ain't gonna find nothing. And the Lord got a certain time limit on this thing. And just for this prophecy to come to pass, hey, Esau and them are gonna have to be working on something to bring this to pass because the Lord uses men, he uses kings, he uses the ones that's in power for his will, right? Everything is subject unto him, everything is subject unto his prophecies. All right. That's how the Lord gets down. Isaiah 55 in 6. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found, call upon him while he is near. So, hey, take advantage, the opportunity that we have, right, to serve the Lord, get this knowledge in, and eat as much as you can so that you can be sustained and nourished during the time of this famine. Right, during the time of this spiritual famine, right? You built up, right? So, that's the lesson. Hope this is edifying. Hey, with that I'm gonna say, hey, shalom.